Hello everybody, it's Emily Gear, the multi-dimensional channel and transformative energy healer. And I am here with your weekly energy forecast for the week that begins today, which is May 26th. So, I'll be honest with you, I'm feeling a lot of frustration right now and trying to separate it from anything I might personally be going through. It could be that there are some blockages in communication which are ready to kind of burst. We are now in Gemini season, which if you know the tarot, you know that the Knight of Swords is represented by the sign of Gemini, and the Knight of Swords is not always the most tactful of communicators, but they are communicators nevertheless. So it's possible that some of that energy is flowing through us this week. It's possible that there is, I almost feel like there's a blockage and a buildup, and that there will be some kind of communication happening regarding a situation in which there has not been adequate communication, and there's some sense of frustration. So I'm feeling some of that right now. I do feel like whatever that is, it does provide a, I want to say just like a new beginning, as trite as that is to say. It almost is like it shifts the situation for better or for worse. Also, if you hear a lot of banging, I'm obviously, as I've been saying, in my New York apartment, and my neighbors are different, special. A lot of noise comes out of that apartment all the time. So anyway, I apologize for any noise you might hear. Yelling, banging, vacuuming angrily. Any of those things can happen. So, okay, so let's get some cards for the energy of this week, to see what's coming up. I actually picked up the Mystic Mondays tarot today when I just had to get out of the house because I was sick of the upstairs screaming. Okay. Energy of this week, please. Also, New York City, make sure you rev that motorcycle. Okay. Okay, so the first card that came out was the Eight of Swords, which sort of represents to me that feeling of the buildup behind the dam. This is all about mental restriction, not moving forward and not doing something because you feel mentally restricted. And we've been talking about releasing the labels on things, releasing your own mental restriction, your belief systems that might be faulty, and enabling yourself to live more freely, to have freedom in your life from your own mental restrictions, okay? So there's that. There is the Ten of Swords coming up, which is, in a lot of ways, it feels positive. It almost feels like the end of that kind of restriction, which is, you know, could be that sense of the dam breaking and all this communication coming through here with the Princess of Swords. However, that communication might not be coming through in the most tactful way possible, as we just spoke about. This is not the knight, but the princess, which is also like the page. And so in some ways, this might be coming across either in a rather childish fashion, or it could actually be a child, could be some communication that needs to take place with a child. Excuse me. It might also be the beginnings of communication about something which has been, I'm hearing the words, sorely misunderstood. Okay, there might be an important misunderstanding that has taken place over time and just was never dealt with because of the mental restrictions and the fear that surrounded being authentic and honest about something. And again, I'm feeling the end to that, and that this is the beginnings of that kind of communication. Now, it's important to realize, because this is the princess coming through, that you're going to have to look at this with some degree of compassion, because the person who is communicating it, and this could easily be you or another person or group, is coming out of a place, they're just now ending this place of fear, this place of feeling disempowered. This card is also all about, not only is it about fear and mental restriction, but it's about feeling disempowered, but it's disempowered by your own mental processes, your own beliefs, your own belief systems, okay? So again, you have all the power here, or this other person has the power to communicate this stuff, but they're coming out of such a difficult spot for them personally that it's going to take some compassion to listen, to hear them out, even if they don't do it in the best possible way. Because what has come out after that is the King and the Queen of Pentacles together. And so I do feel like there's a possibility that this is regarding some kind of partnership, whether it is, I mean, it could easily be a business partnership with the King and Queen of Pentacles, right? Or it could be a romantic partner. I mean, it could be a friendship even. So don't restrict the kind of relationship that might be, or partnership that might be involved here, but just do know that it's appropriate to have a certain level of compassion when they express themselves, or for them to have that when you express yourself, or for each other, because there's nothing here that tells me that both of you aren't in the same situation, okay? I think it just might be that the energies this week might make it so that we may speak before thinking it through, which is not always a bad thing, especially when you're coming out of this Eight of Swords energy where you've stopped yourself by thinking too much. All right, so again, having some compassion, some grounded sensibility, and being stable within yourself so that you can accept what they're saying and not take it in the wrong way. Or there's something that we say in the rescue that I run, which is all about assuming positive intent, right? So people can say things in a number of different ways. You know, we're dealing with 500 volunteers. All of them have different levels of emotional intelligence and communication skills. Excuse me. And so, speaking of communication, so the expectation is of everyone in the rescue that you assume positive intent when somebody tries to communicate something to you, even if they do it in a way that is off-putting or oversharing or inappropriately emotional or whatever, okay? So we are being the grounded party here. If there's any, I'm hearing like if there's any rogue energy here, some stray energy that's kind of like disembodied and out of control, it stops with you, okay? I'm trying to feel into if there's anything else here. This is a message that is unusually relationship specific. I feel like normally I'm passing on more energy based messages, but we'll take it. Could be because I started out by talking about basically this. So let's see what else is coming in for us this week. It could be that this King and Queen of Pentacles is very well could be the coming together of a couple, okay? Or partnership of any kind. The 10 of Cups just popped out. And so, you know, some of you might be I hate creating expectation. So, but I will say that some of you might be finding that thing that equals your happily ever after, your bliss or whatever. And it doesn't have to be another person. It might be that, that sense of life purpose coming together. It might be your sense of balance internally to create the sense of bliss, right? Your masculine with your feminine internally uniting and grounding within you in order to create this, you'll see this geometric pattern. And I always see our energy fields as geometry. And it's almost like to create this balanced geometry within and outside of us. This then does create these physical unions of people or organizations or partnerships or whatever's appropriate for you at this time in your life path. But that's what's coming up for this week. So it could be any kind of a union of sorts, but it's very positive. And I do believe it is going to require you to remain very grounded in the 3D while also remaining heart open, okay? I was saying that as I was looking at her green dress and that spot over her heart and stomach. And it's almost like being asked to live not only through the solar plexus, right, in the 3D, but also engaging that heart, which we have been doing for quite some time and talking about for a really long time. So in accepting whatever this is that's coming in that might be a little chaotic or unbridled, that grounding and that heart-centered attention is going to make a huge difference. Not skimming over the 10 of Cups, it's just that there's not a whole lot of information. Let's get some more information about this 10 of Cups. What's the 10 of Cups about? What's the 10 of Cups about, please? All right, this feels a very hard one, whatever it is, because we've got the 5 of Wands with the King of Swords and the 7 of Wands. And this is not only something that you have planned out in some sense, like there is a sense of planning here. There's a sense of intention, strong mental intent. But there's also, you know, that you may have had to fight for this, possibly dirty at times. I mean, I don't want to say dirty, but it's almost like, you know, you have not been your best self at all times during whatever this come up was. I'm hearing the words come up. So it's almost like here's this guy or girl here, and she, in the 7 of Wands, it's important to remember courage, and that one is standing up for what is one's own or one's belief or one's sovereignty, right? We've been talking all about sovereignty for a very long time. And in that process, you may have had to go down into some of the more, the deeper shadow aspects of yourself to really understand what it means to be sovereign for you, okay? Where are the places where you have been unhealthily dependent on other things or people or ideas or belief systems we've been talking so much about. And this to me is that sovereignty. This is that clarity of belief and thought and purpose that has come through this process. I was going to say struggle, and then sometimes it has been a struggle. But I'm very conscious of the words that we use, because if we call it a struggle, then it is a struggle, right? If we call it a process, then it's less of a struggle, but then it's still time consuming. So, it's not that I'm trying to manipulate the situation by the words that I choose, but I do think the words you choose are important. And so there has been, in a sense, I'm seeing a mountain climber right now. So it's been like climbing a mountain. In discovering yourself and discovering your beliefs and your mental clarity and what it is that you want for yourself, whatever subject we're talking about, whether this is about a relationship or this is about life purpose or fighting for what's yours. Are you in a legal battle with someone and they have taken more than they are entitled to? Any of those things. But I do feel that with this mental clarity and this this sense of not just empowerment, but sovereignty is the word that I want to use for this guy here, this King of Swords, comes this Ten of Cups. It's almost like I'm really getting the feeling that you are given an opportunity to set this fight. Okay, so it's not really setting the fight aside. I'm trying to figure out what they're showing me. They're showing me all these different lenses that I'm looking through to see this. And it's like this lens is laid upon all these different situations, and they are all mirroring each other. And in that, as you are coming into your own awareness and your own mental stability and your own clarity of, it's basically like clarity of awareness is really what it feels like. And you continue to engage all of these different subjects in the pursuit of this Ten of Cups, right? It's that it creates within you this kind of solidified, looking for the word again, the solidified integrity of, and the other word that I want, integrity of thought and purpose, mission, okay? It is something that you have had to fight for only because it was part of your mindset, your values, your belief system that you had to fight for it, okay? And so something must be shifting this week that allows this thought pattern, this belief system to move away, okay? And then you are able to settle into simply receiving your positive karma, right? I'm just looking back at the cards that I had pulled to start with and just feeling into how they fit into that. I just feel like this is sort of like this here also shows us how we have overcome this thought pattern of strife, okay? It's overcoming the thought pattern of strife and the mental restrictions, overcoming it here with the Ten of Swords. It's a lot of energy. That's big energy. I don't know if you guys are picking up on this, but I feel like this could be kind of a big breakthrough coming in this week for some of you. And if not coming in this week, then it is definitely it's definitely hitting you as truth here. Okay. All right, so that was more about the 10 of Cups. What else do we need to know about this week, please? Okay. 9 of Pentacles. This is, to me, this is sovereignty as well. I mean, this is more about coming into yourself, your own stability, your own, I really feel like this is a turn away from all the external stuff that you have been fighting about and fighting for, to bring yourself into a more stable place so that when you are confronted with some of this stuff, you are coming from that heart-centered, that balanced solar plexus, okay? I feel like too much energy has gone out from many of us, if not most of us, to fighting these battles that we're imagining are real. Okay, we're imagining these are the battles to fight, right? But really what we need to look at is internal. It's within us. And once we shift that, I mean, essentially that's the only thing that's real. I know. It's weird to think about, but your own perception is the only thing that's real. So, and the only thing that you have control over is yourself. So what is happening within you is the only thing that is both real and you have control over, right? I'm trying to remember where I was going with this. So I feel that we've been directing our attention outward way too much. I'm upset with this coworker at work because huge pain in the ass. I'm upset with my boss because expects too much. I'm upset with my friend because too needy. I'm upset with my mom because too bossy. I'm upset with my partner because isn't communicating enough. Any of those things, right? Forget all of that for a second and turn it around and look at yourself. And in what way are you doing all of those things? Okay? Because everything in your reality, as I've said 8 billion times before, is going to reflect everything external, everything that's, everything that's external is going to reflect everything that's going on for you internally. And so the way to truly shift all that is to shift it internally first. And the truth is, the only thing that matters is shifting it internally because it's causing the pain, the discomfort, the separation. You don't even need to pay attention to what's going on externally. It will just follow suit, okay? Don't give it your energy, give your energy in here. And look at what those things are telling you, right? But you don't have to, there is no control over those things. So do not spend your energy trying to figure out how to control that situation, okay? That is a very complex topic, and I'm giving you a very simplified version of it. So this is not to say that we should never act on anything external or whatever, but I'm talking generally about how to deal with the way that your environment is going to trigger you to seeing the things that are going on with you internally. Okay, so I'm just going to put that out there because I like to be exact. Even though nobody ever questions or comments anything negative, I just want to be very clear. So sovereignty, focus back on yourself, get yourself stable, get yourself grounded and firmly in your own knowing about your own truth, okay? And that goes along very well with this King of Swords here, okay? That's this week. Let's get, let's get a little advice, and then I'm gonna, actually, let's do this. Let's get advice from the Lightworker Oracle. I just got this in the mail the other day, the Lightworker Oracle. Thank you guys for your donations that you've made that made it possible for me to go out and buy these 2 new decks. So I appreciate that very much. The Lightworker Oracle by Alana Fairchild. Okay, so let's get some advice for this week for all of us watching. Advice, please, for this week of May 26th. What's the advice for the collective for this week? Number 4, paradigm shift. Just been going on for a while, but we'll see what the book has to say. It's one of the Alana Fairchild decks, so she's always got quite a lot written. Number 4, paradigm shift. Okay. You are undergoing radical growth in your belief systems. Now is the time to challenge old attitudes and question previous expectations. This is exactly what we're talking about. Oh gosh, I'm sorry, guys. Hey, Louie. Shh. Oh my God, I'm just going to keep going. You are in an extraordinary time. Great leaps forward can be made in a moment. The world you thought you knew can suddenly break open and a new world can become your reality. This is exactly what we've been talking about. Buddhists sometimes speak of the beginner's mind, that which assumes nothing and therefore is open to everything. A spiritual psychologist might call this the inner child, as it is innocent, curious, unfixed, always learning. It doesn't get stuck on an answer having to be one way. There is openness to the unknown with curiosity instead. Old souls can sometimes find it hard to recapture their not knowingness. Asking someone with a lot of life experience who may have become a bit world weary to drop expectations and look at the world through fresh eyes can be challenging. Yet life becomes much more energizing and interesting when you're open to and don't hold expectations about what will be. Suddenly you're receptive to the universe helping you in ways that in the past you did not believe possible, all because you kept an open mind. If you are feeling that you don't really know yourself, your relationships, or your place in the world as you once did, if you're feeling that what you once held to be certain now seems to be a little shaky, these are signs that you're going through a paradigm shift. This will bring you new perceptions that will free you to be in the world in new ways. You'll find yourself shedding old limits, fears, and misconceptions. You're stepping beyond what you've known. You are a bit like a traveler in a new city, feeling awkward until she gets the lay of the land and how things operate in that new place. As you trust the unexpected and unknown, the universe will be able to help you in unexpected and previously unknown ways. If you find yourself questioning the views in mass media or spoken in conversations that those around you are having, take heart and know that you are awakening from a fear-based world into a love-filled reality. Your confusion will soon transform into joy at discovering that you are free and have no reason to be afraid. You're encouraged by the universe to embrace the power you have to be a free thinker. Accept the accelerated mental shift happening for you, even if it creates temporary uncertainty or discomfort. Dare to think thoughts of love rather than lower your vibration to choosing thoughts of fear. Trust for something helpful and empowering is happening in your soul. That was perfect for everything we just talked about and the things we've been talking about all week. So I'm going to end it there and thank you guys so much for being here. If you would like a private reading with me or healing session, I'm in New York City until mid-June and you can do a personal one-on-one session with me. If you are anywhere else in the world, we can do a Zoom video session or a phone call session, and all of those things can be scheduled on my website at IamEmilyGear.com. All right. Thank you guys all, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.